The Waterfront Park Fountain is one of Charleston's most famous monuments. It's the ideal spot for guests to take a photo to remember their vacation. Consider spending a day at the Riley Waterfront Park in Charleston, soaking up the sun and admiring the beautiful vistas during your next vacation. Continue to read this article, and we will share all useful details that you need to be aware about. Visiting Riley Waterfront Park. Riley Waterfront Park, named for Charleston's famous former mayor Joe Riley, is one of the city's most popular parks for both visitors and residents. It's a very recent addition to the city, having been completed in 1990. It runs for a half-mile along the east side of the downtown center, providing visitors with a great view of the Charleston harbor. When the weather is fine, you may relax and enjoy the fresh ocean air coming off the harbor by sitting on one of the numerous swinging seats. There are also various areas around the park where you may read a book or enjoy a picnic beneath the shade of the trees. If you're traveling with your family, this is a great place to go exploring. Waterfront Park is also home to Charleston's famed Pineapple Fountain, as previously stated. The Pineapple Fountain is not for swimming, but it makes for fantastic images. If you need to cool down, there is a splash fountain nearby that is available to children during the hot summer months. At Joe Riley Waterfront Park, relax in the shade of a southern live oak tree while watching sailboats go by. The park has various beautiful gardens and lovely plazas against the breathtaking background of the Atlantic Ocean, which spans 5 hectares, 12 acres, along the Carolina coastline. Before relaxing on a seat, take a walk through grand fountains and lovely flower gardens. For a classic southern lunch, visit one of the park's oceanside eateries. While you're out and about, pay a visit to the market. Waterfront Park is close to Charleston's historic city market, which has served as the city's cultural hub since 1804. Every day from 9:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., the market is open. There are around 300 booths offering food, arts and crafts, and other items. We like to stroll to the park for a peaceful lunch after picking up a sandwich from the market. Greater than read, is traveling a hobby? The ultimate guide to an exciting way of life. Greater than learn about the downsides of traveling as a hobby. Why should you go? This is where the Charleston Water Taxi leaves from. Relax on the wide dock swings, watch dolphins frolic in the water, take in the breathtaking view of Charleston Harbor, and take a selfie in front of the renowned Pineapple Fountain. The American Society of Landscape Architects and the National Trust for Historic Preservation presented the park with the 2007 Landmark Award. A notable landscape architecture project constructed between 15 and 50 years ago that preserves its original architectural integrity and contributes considerably to the public space of the community in which it is situated, according to the award's description. With multiple wharfs and shipping ports, the park's position, between Vendue Range to the north and Adgers Wharf to the south, has traditionally been a hub of marine commerce. The neighborhood went through a lengthy period of deterioration, culminating in a fire at a steamship port on the site in June 1955. The site had become an overgrown area disfigured by burnt pilings and gravel parking areas by 1980. Soon after assuming office in 1975, Mayor Joseph P. Riley Jr. started formulating plans for a park on the site, and the park is named after him. What are the other tourist attractions around Riley Waterfront Park? When you are visiting Riley Waterfront Park, you should not forget other tourist attractions in the surroundings. Charleston has been rated the top city in the world by Condé Nast Traveler for the last 9 years in a row. Charleston is the crown gem of the South, with its sweet southern charm and centuries-old magnificent architecture. With history on every street and a delectable restaurant around every corner, you have access to the finest of the old and modern. There's enough to keep you entertained no matter how long you're in town, especially given Charleston's closeness to lovely beaches. To help you get the most out of your visit to the Holy City, I'm finally publishing my definitive Charleston travel guide, complete with my favorite things to do, places to stay, and places to eat. In this piece, I'll go over everything you need to know about planning the ideal vacation to Charleston, including my favorite time to go, a breakdown of all the main tourist sites, and my personal recommendations for the greatest restaurants. In addition, I'm finally responding to one of the most often requested questions: where should I stay in Charleston? When is the best time to visit Riley Waterfront Park? The weather in Charleston is warm for most of the year. January is the coldest month, with average highs of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Charleston is a fantastic choice if you're seeking for a moderate winter resort since it seldom snows. Summer is hot and humid, with temperatures peaking in July and August, and the city becoming a little busy with children on vacation. However, this means that now is the ideal time to visit one of Charleston's beaches. Hence, you can select it as the best time of the year for visiting Riley Waterfront Park. Spring is my personal favorite season to visit Charleston. The weather hasn't grown too hot yet, and Charleston is awash with vivid colors and flowers. The vibrantly painted buildings and seashore touches are well complemented by the lush vegetation that has returned to the city. Spring in Charleston is also ideal for wearing a sundress. Here are some other tourist attractions around Riley Waterfront Park that you can visit. Row of Rainbows. One of the most well-known sections in Charleston is Rainbow Row. The term alludes to a block of 13 colorfully painted residences on East Bay Street between Trott and Elliott Streets. The vibrant pinks, yellows, blues, and greens of the mansions, which were renovated in the 1930s and 1940s, make for an Instagram-worthy image of your Charleston vacation. Waterfront Park is located on the water's edge. The Cooper River and the Charleston Harbor are visible from this half-mile length of coastal open space. Slowing down and appreciating life is a big part of low country existence, and it's evident in this park. The Waterfront Park's broad paths are ideal for enjoying a stroll. Visitors to the park may take a break in the shade thanks to the trees and chairs located along the path. The next stop on our itinerary is at the park's heart. Fountain with Pineapple. Since the park's inauguration in 1990, this distinctive pineapple-shaped fountain in Waterfront Park has been a must-see for every tourist to Charleston. The pineapple has long been associated with the type of hospitality seen in the South, particularly in the Holy City. Water pours from the metal pineapple's top fronds and splashes over its many levels, producing a dynamic reminder of Charleston's iconography, Southern hospitality, and seaside views. The pineapple fountain is hard to miss, and it brings delight to everyone who see it. The Energizer. The Battery is a defensive barrier and promenade on the lower coasts of Charleston's peninsula, named after its historical usage as an artillery battery. It is known for its rows of beautiful antebellum homes. White Tip Garden, located near the Battery's southernmost point, offers grassy spaces covered by ancient oak trees, ideal for a noon picnic. In the distance, you can view Fort Sumter and observe various Civil War cannons, memorials, and sculptures. Go shopping in the King Street. King Street runs through the heart of the Charleston Peninsula. What was formerly a roadway used to transport cars farther inland is today a retail and eating mecca. When most people speak about King Street, they're typically referring to the fashion area in the center. Local businesses like Skinny Dip Charleston and Beckett Boutique sit alongside retailers like Kate Spade, Anthropologie, and J. Crew. Tour of the Charleston Carriage. A carriage excursion through Charleston's historic neighborhood will transport you back in time. Since 1983, the same family has owned and managed Old South Carriage Company, which provides a range of excursions, including a 1-hour narrated carriage trip covering 30 blocks of the Holy City. Narrated tours are a terrific opportunity to see the historic center of Charleston while also learning some insider knowledge to amaze your friends and family back home. Plus, if you're traveling with children, the horses are always a plus. Final words. Visiting Riley Waterfront Park is something that you should never forget about. That's because it is among the most prominent tourist attractions of the city. You will never regret about the decision that you take to come all the way to Riley Waterfront Park as well.